Most people believe happiness is something you wait for, a blessing that comes when life is perfect. But here's the truth: life will never be perfect. You will face hardship, betrayal, loss, and failure. The question is, how do you find happiness when the world seems set against you? That's what we're solving today. The secret to pushing yourself to be happy even in the darkest times. Listen to me, happiness isn't something that just falls out of the sky. It isn't something that knocks on your door one day and says, "Here I am, I've come to stay." No, happiness is a choice, a decision, a discipline. And if you wait for the world to make you happy, you'll be waiting until the day you die. Every morning when you wake up, you're faced with a decision. Do I choose gratitude? Do I choose strength? Do I choose to rise above my circumstances? Or do I let my circumstances own me? That's the battle. That's the choice. Too many people believe happiness is connected to things, to money, to cars, to the house you live in, to the people who clap for you when you succeed. But let me tell you something. You can have all the money in the world. You can be surrounded by people. You can be dressed in the finest suit and still be miserable inside. Because happiness doesn't live in things. It lives in here, in the heart, in the soul, in the choices you make every single day. I've seen people with nothing, and I mean nothing. No home, no family, no money. And yet they smiled brighter than those who had everything. How is that possible? Because they understood the truth. Happiness is not about what you have. It's about what you decide to see. You can see lack, or you can see gratitude. You can see pain, or you can see the lesson. You can see failure, or you can see growth. Happiness is about perspective. If you focus on what's missing, you'll always be empty. But if you focus on what's here, if you focus on the breath in your lungs, the strength in your body, the opportunity in your day, you will find joy in the middle of the storm. And let me be clear, this isn't easy. It's not easy to smile when your heart is breaking. It's not easy to push forward when life keeps knocking you down. It's not easy to wake up and choose joy when everything inside you wants to quit. But hear me, the ones who can do it, the ones who can choose happiness even in the darkest moments, those are the ones who rise. Those are the ones who can never be broken. Because happiness isn't about feeling good all the time. Happiness is about refusing to be defeated. It's about standing up and saying, "I will not let this world steal my joy. I will not let this pain destroy my spirit." That's power. That's a strength. That's a choice. You see, happiness is not passive. It's not something you wait for. It's active. It's aggressive. You've got to fight for it. You've got to wake up and declare it. You've got to push yourself into it. Because if you let the world decide your happiness, the world will decide to keep you miserable. Think about this. How many people do you know who say, I'll be happy when I get that job, when I get that car, when I meet the right person, when I make more money." And then they get it, and guess what? They're still not happy. Because happiness that depends on circumstances is not happiness, it's an illusion. Real happiness is built. It's earned. It's a decision you make every single morning, no matter what. No matter if you're broke. No matter if you're tired. No matter if your heart is heavy. You wake up and say, "I will find something to be grateful for. I will find a reason to smile. I will not let this day pass without joy." That is how warriors think. That is how strong men and women survive. Happiness is not a gift, it's a responsibility. You owe it to yourself to claim it. You owe it to your family, your dreams, your purpose. Because a miserable soul cannot create greatness. A broken spirit cannot inspire. But a joyful heart, a grateful mind, that's unstoppable. And let me tell you this, people will try to steal your joy. They'll try to tear it down. They'll try to convince you that you don't deserve to smile. That life is too hard, that you should just accept misery. But no, don't give them that power. Protect your happiness like it's the most valuable treasure you own, because it is. And when life gets dark, and it will, you must remember this truth: your happiness does not depend on the storm. The storm can rage. The storm can destroy everything around you. But if you keep joy inside, if you choose it, if you fight for it, the storm cannot touch you. Because the strongest force in this world is not pain, it's not fear, it's not failure. It's the human spirit that refuses to give up joy. Pain. That word alone makes people flinch. Nobody wants it. Nobody prays for it. Nobody welcomes it. But let me tell you something. Pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have in this life. Pain doesn't just knock on your door. It kicks it down. It walks in uninvited. And it sits with you until you learn what it came to teach you. See, when everything is easy, when life is smooth, When the road is straight, you don't grow. Comfort doesn't teach. Comfort doesn't stretch you. Comfort doesn't prepare you for greatness. But pain builds strength. Pain creates character. Pain reveals who you are when the lights go out and nobody's clapping. Some of you are running from pain. You spend your life avoiding struggle, dodging discomfort, hiding from the things that hurt. But what you don't realize is that you're also running from your greatness. Because every time you step into pain, every time you face it, instead of fleeing from it, you discover a piece of yourself you didn't even know existed. I've been through it. Nights of doubt, days of rejection, moments when the world looked at me and said, "You can't." And it hurt. It burned. But you know what that pain did? It taught me. It shaped me. It pushed me deeper into discipline, deeper into resilience, deeper into faith. Pain forced me to stand taller than I thought I could stand. And it will do the same for you if you stop running from it. You want to know the truth. The most successful people you admire didn't get there by avoiding pain. They got there by walking straight through it. They got there by taking the hit, learning the lesson, and standing back up stronger. That's why their victories taste so sweet, because pain was the price they paid. Think about it. When you lift weights, what happens? You tear the muscle. That tearing hurts. But what's happening is growth. The pain of that tear makes the muscle rebuild stronger than before. Life is the same way. Every tear, every scar, every wound, it's building you. It's forging you into someone unbreakable. But here's the problem. Too many people want the reward without the struggle. They want strength without the weight. They want wisdom without the scars. They want success without sacrifice. And I'm here to tell you, that doesn't exist. If you're serious about growth, if you're serious about greatness, you've got to be willing to endure the fire. Because the fire doesn't destroy you, it refines you. And listen to me, pain is not your enemy. Pain is your guide. Pain is your coach. Pain is your mentor. It's whispering to you saying, pay attention, learn this. Don't repeat that, grow here. Let's go there. The problem is, most people are too busy complaining about pain to hear what it's teaching. They drown out the lesson with bitterness, with anger, with self-pity, and when you do that, you suffer for nothing. But when you stop and say, all right, this hurts, but what is it showing me? What is it revealing about me? What is it trying to prepare me for? That's when pain transforms you. That's when it shifts from being your enemy to being your greatest ally. You see, pain strips away the illusions. It takes away the fake friends. It removes the shallow desires. It exposes what matters. When you're in pain, you find out real quick who you can trust. You find out what you truly value. You find out what you're made of. Pain doesn't lie. It tells the truth you've been avoiding. And I want you to understand something. Life is not supposed to be painless. You're not supposed to escape this world untouched, unscratched, unscarred. No. Those scars are proof that you fought. Proof that you endured. Proof that you didn't quit. Scars are not signs of weakness. They are signs of survival. They are your medals of honor. So the next time life hurts you, don't just sit in the pain. Don't just cry in the corner. Stand up, look that pain in the face and say, teach me. Show me what I need to know. Use this to make me stronger. Because when you do that, pain becomes power. And here's the beautiful thing. Once you've been through enough pain, once you've survived it and learned from it, nothing scares you anymore. Failure doesn't scare you. Rejection doesn't scare you. Struggle doesn't scare you because you know you can handle it. You know you've already walked through the fire and come out alive. That confidence, that resilience, that unshakable spirit, that is the gift pain leaves behind. Pain is not here to break you. It's here to build you. It's here to prepare you for the weight of your destiny. Because greatness requires a foundation strong enough to hold it. And without pain, you don't get that foundation. Without pain, you don't get that strength. Without pain, you don't get the wisdom to carry what you're meant to carry. Desire is easy. Anybody can want something. Anybody can sit there and dream about success, talk about greatness, imagine the perfect life. But desire alone, desire is cheap. Desire without discipline is nothing but a fantasy. You see, the world is full of people who want, but very few who work. Very few who sacrifice. Very few are willing to put discipline above desire. Discipline, that's the real power. That's the real secret. Because desire says, I want to be fit. But discipline wakes you up at 5 a.m. and drags you to the gym when you don't feel like it. Desire says, I want to be successful. But discipline keeps you studying, keeps you grinding, keeps you focused long after everybody else has quit. Desire fades when things get tough. Discipline endures. Desire whispers, but discipline commands. Let me tell you something I've learned in my own life. Every dream I've ever chased, every success I've ever had, it didn't come from desire. Desire was just the spark. But the fire came from discipline. It came from the nights when I didn't feel like working, but I did anyway. It came from the mornings when I wanted to stay in bed, but I got up anyway. It came from the sacrifices that nobody saw, the quiet choices that nobody applauded. That's discipline. And discipline is what separates the great from the average. Because let's be real, desire is emotional, and emotions change. One day you're motivated, the next day you're tired. One day you're inspired, the next day you're discouraged. If you build your life on desire, you'll never be consistent. You'll always be up and down, hot and cold, starting and quitting. But when you build your life on discipline, you become unstoppable. Because discipline doesn't care how you feel. Discipline doesn't ask if you're in the mood. Discipline just gets it done. You think soldiers on the battlefield wait until they feel like fighting. You think champions in the ring wait until they feel like training. No, they train because they must. They fight because they must. Discipline doesn't negotiate. Discipline doesn't compromise. Discipline is a contract with yourself that you don't break, no matter how you feel. And I want you to hear this clearly. Success doesn't go to the most talented. It doesn't go to the most gifted. It doesn't go to the one who wants it the most. Success goes to the most disciplined. The one who can do the right thing, the hard thing, the consistent thing, even when everything inside of them screams to quit. That's who wins. Think about all the people you know who had talent but wasted it. They had desire, they had dreams, but they never built discipline. And because of that, they never became who they could have been. Don't let that be you. Don't let your desires die because you didn't have the discipline to protect them. Discipline is not glamorous. It's not flashy. It's not applause or lights or recognition. Discipline happens in the dark. Discipline happens when nobody's watching. Discipline happens when you make a choice that nobody but you will ever know about. That's where greatness is born. In the quiet sacrifices, in the lonely decisions, in the small acts of consistency that build into something unshakable. And here's the truth. Discipline is freedom. People think discipline is a cage, a prison, a limitation. They think it's about denying yourself, restricting yourself, chaining yourself down. No, discipline is the opposite. Discipline is the key that unlocks your freedom. Because when you're disciplined with your time, you're free from procrastination. When you're disciplined with your body, you're free from sickness. When you're disciplined with your money, you're free from debt. Discipline may feel hard in the moment, but it buys you freedom for a lifetime. You want to be happy even when life is hard. Then master discipline. Because discipline gives you control in a world that feels uncontrollable. Discipline gives you stability when emotions are wild. Discipline gives you power when circumstances try to strip it from you. Discipline is the anchor that keeps you steady in the storm. And I'll tell you something else. Discipline is contagious. When you live with discipline, people around you notice. They feel it. They're inspired by it. Your children, your friends, your family, they see you keep going when it's hard, and it permits them to do the same. Discipline isn't just about you. It's about the legacy you leave. It's about the example you set. It's about showing the world that consistency beats talent, persistence beats passion, and discipline beats desire. Now, I know discipline isn't easy. It never will be. That's why most people avoid it. But if you want a life of meaning, a life of purpose, a life of strength, then discipline must become your closest friend. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until you feel motivated. Start now. Start small. Build the habit. Build the strength. And every time you choose discipline over desire, you're building a future you'll be proud of. When life gets heavy, when the nights feel longer than the days, when the weight on your shoulders feels like it's crushing you, there's only one thing that keeps you standing: purpose. Purpose is the reason you don't quit. Purpose is the light when everything around you is dark. Purpose is the fire that refuses to go out, even when the storms are trying to drown it. You see, most people live life without a compass. They wake up, they go through the motions, they chase things they think will make them happy. Money, recognition, approval. And yet they still feel empty. Why? Because those things are not the purpose. Those things are distractions. The purpose is deeper. Purpose is rooted in who you are and why you're here. When you know your purpose, life changes. Struggles don't break you, they shape you. Failures don't destroy you, they teach you. Pain doesn't stop you, it pushes you. Purpose makes sense out of suffering. Purpose makes the unbearable bearable. Because when you know what you're living for, you'll endure almost anything. Think about it. Why do soldiers fight on the battlefield? Not because it's easy. Not because they enjoy pain. But because they know what they're fighting for. They know the purpose behind their sacrifice. And that purpose is greater than the pain. You need that same clarity in your life. You need to ask yourself, what am I living for? What am I building for? What is my why? Because without a why, the how will crush you. Without a why, the weight of life will feel too heavy. But with purpose, you can carry mountains. Purpose gives you direction when you're lost. Purpose gives you focus when the world tries to distract you. Purpose gives you strength when your body is weak. And let me tell you this, purpose is not about comfort. Purpose is not about always feeling good. Purpose will require sacrifice. Purpose will demand discipline. Purpose will call you to walk through fire. But that fire is what refines you. That fire is what makes you who you're meant to be. Some of you are suffering right now. You're asking, why me? Why this? Why now? But maybe the real question isn't why. Maybe the question is what for? What is this pain preparing you for? What is this hardship shaping inside of you? What is this struggle building in your spirit? When you shift the question, you find the purpose in the pain. And hear me clearly, purpose doesn't have to be some grand thing the whole world recognizes. Your purpose might be raising your children with love and strength. Your purpose might be serving people with your gifts. Your purpose might be building something that outlives you. Don't let the world trick you into thinking purpose is fame or followers. No, purpose is impact. Purpose is legacy. Purpose is meaning. And when life gets dark, because it will, that purpose will be your candle. That purpose will remind you, keep going. Don't stop. There's more for you. Purpose is what whispers, this is not the end. This is the process. This is the preparation. Without it, you will quit. With it, you will rise. You see, purpose makes you unshakable. Because when you have purpose, you don't need validation. You don't need applause. You don't need everybody to understand you. Purpose is between you and God, between you and your soul. And once you find it, no man can take it from you. There will be days you want to quit. There will be days when the pain feels too much. There will be days when you ask yourself if it's worth it. And in those moments, your purpose is the only thing that will keep you moving forward. Desire won't be enough. Motivation won't be enough. Even discipline will feel heavy at times. But purpose will remind you of the bigger picture. Purpose will remind you that your story is not finished yet. Don't waste your life chasing things that don't matter. Don't waste your energy on things that fade. Don't waste your years living without direction. Find your purpose. Guard it. Live it. Because at the end of the day, when the lights go out, when the applause is gone, when everything else fades, purpose is the only thing that will remain. So what have we learned? Happiness is not a gift you wait for. It's a choice you make every single morning. Pain is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher, shaping you into who you were meant to become. Discipline is not a punishment. It's the bridge that carries you from where you are to where you dream of being. And purpose. Purpose is the foundation, the light, the reason you keep going when life tries to break you. If you walk away with anything today, let it be this: life will never be easy, but it will always be worth it if you refuse to waste it. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for the right moment. Stop waiting for happiness to fall into your lap. Choose it. Build it. Live it. Push yourself to be happy even when life is hard. Push yourself to grow when it hurts. Push yourself to stay disciplined when you want to quit. Push yourself to walk in your purpose when the world tries to distract you. Because at the end of the day, greatness doesn't belong to the lucky. It doesn't belong to the comfortable. It doesn't belong to the ones who never faced hardship. Greatness belongs to those who choose joy in the storm, who take the lessons from pain, who live with unshakable discipline, and who carry their purpose like fire in their bones. That's the lesson. That's the call. Don't waste your life. Live it with power. Live it with strength. Live it with purpose.